What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm your host, Warren, and we have a ton of Spider-Man Brand New Day new details to go over. A lot of reports coming from some insiders, including some details about the main villain of the movie. This could be Sadie Sink's character, the mysterious character who we don't know at this point, but it could be Sadie Sink. Peter is said to snap and kind of crash out in the movie. And if these villain reports are accurate, we might get some really emotional but kind of weird scenes with Peter in this movie. And we have a new report stating that Yelena Belova, who we know is going to be in the movie, is going to have quite an important role in the movie and in Avengers Doomsday as well. So a lot to break down. Let's get into it. So we first have a report from the insider Jeff Snyder from the Hot Mic podcast telling us that the female villain in Brand New Day is a shapeshifter. Also, on top of that, the insider Cryptic HD Quality, who has an excellent track record when it comes to scoops, said pretty much the same thing, that it's going to be a shapeshifter. And they shared this cryptic image on X. That's a comic strip panel that says you've probably noticed that for the past year, more and more of your battles have been with forces coming from the supernatural side of the street. And it seems like people have kind of tracked down what this is from. And based on what Cryptic and Jeff Snyder are saying, they believe that this villain could be Shathra, who does come from a different plane. Now, Shathra is indeed a shapeshifter, but she's more like a spider wasp, which makes her a very big threat to Spider-Man. And in the comics, she actually really kind of defeats him. The only way Spider-Man really got away is because he knew New York City more than Shathra did. And what's interesting about Shathra is she can inject poison into people. And I'm starting to think that this might be how the Hulk or Bruce Banner kind of hulks out again. What if she injects him with something and that is why he goes savage? But what's interesting is they seem to imply, Cryptic HD Quality at least, seems to imply that this character is going to be Sadie Sink's character, that Shathra might be who Sadie Sink is going to play. Now, Jeff Snyder has also stated that Scorpion and Tombstone are indeed going to be in the film, but they are not the main villains. So the way he stated that, it makes it sound like they're not going to be just some random villains in the beginning of the montage that we've heard, that Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to start off with a montage of villains and Spider-Man fighting them. Those are probably going to be kind of one and dones real quick, not really going to be in the rest of the movie. The way this sounds is that they are going to be not the main villain of the film, but have pretty decent roles in the film. So that's great to hear. He also states that Boomerang is going to be in the movie, but he didn't specify in what capacity, whether it's in that early montage or in a different role that might be a little bit bigger. Now, when it comes to Sadie Sink possibly playing Shathra, I don't necessarily like this. And they say shapeshifter, and a lot of people are thinking that, well, what if it's Mystique? I would like this a lot more than Shathra. Shathra does make sense for a Spider-Man story, but I feel like if they use Sadie Sink to play this villain, it would kind of be a waste of Sadie Sink and her very particular look with her hair. I mean, she could play Jean Grey. She could play Mayday Parker, who I would really love her to play. She could play Gwen Stacy. There are so many characters that Sadie Sink could play. I just think it would be kind of a waste if she played this character. Also, the look of Sadie Sink doesn't exactly match this character, but of course with hair and makeup and CGI, they could of course make her look like pretty much whatever they wanted her to. But you'll have to go ahead and let me know what you think about that. You think this would be good if, one, this was the main villain, and two, Sadie Sink played this character? It's not confirmed, of course, at this point in time, but if it happened, let me know what you think. Now, something else that Jeff Snyder said about Spider-Man Brand New Day was very interesting, because we've heard this a little bit in the past, but he states that Peter is going to see that MJ has a boyfriend, and this is going to cause him to snap. And if the villain really is a shapeshifter, in which two different insiders now are saying that she is, you have to wonder what she's or who she's going to shapeshift into. Is she going to shapeshift into that boyfriend that MJ has just to mess with Peter Parker? Is that what could cause him to snap? And you also have to imagine that there might be some pretty emotional scenes if the shapeshifter can turn into people of Peter's past. What if she turns into Tony Stark? What if we got a Robert Downey Jr. cameo in Spider-Man Brand New Day via the shapeshifter? That would be pretty insane. Also, what if she turned into Aunt May? that would really mess with Peter emotionally. And all of these things combined, MJ having a boyfriend, possibly the shapeshifter turning into Tony Stark or Aunt May, that could really make Peter so-called snap. It's definitely interesting to have a shapeshifter be the villain because there's a lot of different things that they could do with that. But out of everything they could do, I think with a shapeshifter, having them turn into Tony Stark or Aunt May, who are both dead and who are incredibly important to Peter, that could do a lot for this movie as far as having really big emotional scenes go. Now, on top of all of this, we have heard that Yelena Belova is going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And it does make sense because she's now technically an Avenger, a new Avenger with a Z. And if stuff is happening in New York, she's probably going to know about it and involve herself in some way, shape, or form. But according to the insider My Time to Shine Hello, she's going to have a pretty important role in this movie. Not only that, but in Avengers Doomsday as well. And we're unsure what her specific role is going to be at this point in time. I have a theory that maybe she's just going to take the spot of her sister, Black Widow, in trying to calm the Hulk down. I don't think she'll be able to do it, but if she tried that, that would be kind of a pretty cool reference to her sister. However, I do think one of the main roles she's going to have just in the MCU in general is going to be connecting Spider-Man Brand New Day to Avengers Doomsday. We obviously have not had that much buildup to Avengers Doomsday. We've had it kind of recently with the Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four, but Spider-Man Brand New Day definitely needs to build up Avengers Doomsday in a pretty big way. Having Yelena be a part of that does make a lot of sense. So I think that's probably the main reason they're going to have her be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, because she was in the Thunderbolts, they set her up to be a new Avenger, and they want to show that particular team, or at least have a representative of that team, be in this movie as well to really connect it all, to make it feel like it is building up to Doomsday. And that's a pretty good way to do it. That's a smart move. However, I'm really hoping that that doesn't mean Doom isn't going to be in this film in some capacity, because I think Doom really does need to at least be in a post-credit scene. The last post-credit scene we got was the Fantastic Four First Steps. They had Doom in it. It wasn't an official reveal because we only saw, the back of him, the cloak, but something like that needs to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I'd even like Doom to maybe make his first appearance in the movie. I doubt they do that, but they do need to build up to Doomsday. Doom does need to be either on screen or severely hinted at. And I also do think Yelena's going to have a big role to play in building up Doomsday as well. Even though she is not the official leader of the new Avengers with a Z, I do believe that she is the face of the new Avengers. More so than Bucky. Even though he's the leader, I definitely think having her in Spider-Man Brand New Day is probably better for the connection into Avengers Doomsday. So she'll have an important role in the movie, but also an important role to play for the audience. That's what I think needs to happen in Spider-Man Brand New Day, but go ahead and let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Spider-Man and Marvel news. And you can also catch us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.